Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to see how we are going to continue our little otter. So in this case I was trying to figure out, actually I planned it and advanced the flat colors of the character. They're still not 100% decided. But in here, I'll possibly speed up in a few minutes. So you can see how I painted the rest of the flat colors of the rest of the scenario. Sometimes I have a hard time deciding some colors, so it's my usual on that point. I am extremely indecisive when it comes to coloring and on all that stuff. But I usually make everything separate. In this case, I'm making everything separate, so I don't have a harder time to make other decisions, especially if when it comes to more details. Especially, I have flowers, I have a plank of wood, I have more bubble tea, I have grass. So all these elements in one page for me, right? In one page, but one layer. At this time, it's going to be extremely complicated to get to the point, and it will become extremely frustrating if when I start making the merging of the copy of the official layers, it'll become hell. I'll possibly make a lot of mistakes, and I don't want to have that much of work. So I'm going to do a little different process on this one, so I can understand how to work on a huge background, because usually I was making my characters only the character without any more extra material behind them. In this case, I decided to just go with my flow and just separate everything. That is actually an old method of mine. Sorry about that. Yeah, I usually make the videos really late, so it's normal if you sometimes hear me yawn. I really apologize. But yeah, pretty much I'm deciding on the colors. I'm still deciding. I'm actually looking at a reference of an otter in terms of the coloring, so I wouldn't mess up too much. Of course, some things are going to be a bit more fixed and everything. I try not to speed up too much, or else you wouldn't see the process, although it looks really funny when it's speeded up like this. This took me like around 1 hour to make. And since I'm doing the videos, which kind of makes me a little bit in a very healthy pressure of, okay, I've got this timing, I got to make everything already a bit solidified so I can go forward with the process. This actually is helping me make my characters quite faster, but as like I said before, I use the method of first drawing in paper, so everything can be immediately perfectly timed with what I want and how I want it in terms of proportions. I don't have to worry about anything about that when I'm drawing digitally, so I don't have the habit of zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out. That thing is just hell on earth. So it's preferable to actually still go for the method of going on paper and then scan it and work on it digitally. So right now, on this character, I already told you a bit of the story. I was expecting actually to have more time so I could actually just show you the process a bit more complex. Now I have to divide this in a few parts, but that's okay. Hope you guys don't mind as well. And well, that's actually quite an interesting test for me. I usually had that comfort zone of just making the character only. It was really like I wasn't developing that much, to be fairly honest, and I wanted to challenge myself and see how far I could go. Also, in the next videos with this character, I'll surely try to look a bit more in terms of extra textures, in terms of the fur, in terms of the flowers, in terms of the grass, all that. I want to challenge myself so I can have quality work. Not only for my future clients, because this is also for a product to sell, but also for my own personal satisfaction in terms of saying, okay, I now am feeling more comfortable and doing more complex things. So I have a slow process of work, but I prefer this way rather than just going at it immediately and then feeling extremely frustrating and making me go back to my level of comfort. So I just slowly get out of my comfort zone and then go to a more complex kind of thing. So yeah, you see here that I am still this. I'm by the way, I did the bubble teas with this white kind of thing because for me they usually are transparent on that point. But I just wanted to define the whiteness of it because when I pick up this part on the merged layer, the duplicated layer, and merge it, this white area will be a bit more erased, like it shows a bit of transparency since bubble teas are inside the transparent cups. And also the tapioca balls, I still have to see some menus and what kind of bubbles they use for the tea because I usually have taro. I can't deal with lichia. It's I don't know the name right now in English, but it's one that is a bit pinkish, and I can't deal with it, not even one bit. But I'm really satisfied with what I'm trying to do because also I'm playing a bit with the gradients. I'm doing gradients by hand, not exactly using the gradient tool. I'm doing gradients with my own choosing and by my own hands instead of using the gradient effect that we have here on the program. Like this. I'm putting the yellow and then the orange. That's for me the supposedly gradient, the beginning of a gradient. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, yes, it will have some the taro kind of effect. It's the more kind of coffee color sort of thing. I tried a little bit. Yeah, I was trying something out, like something a bit lighter, then middle tone, then darker. This is actually what I remember of the sort of the taro colors of the bubble tea I usually drink when I go out. But yeah, I'll possibly make instead of like after I finish this sticker, it is most likely that I'm going to start with the illustrations I was talking about. But instead of you seeing the process of construction, it will take a hell of a long time for it to work. Now, interesting part. I duplicated this and turned it into multiply. And what I did was I immediately set it with the effects of shadow. And then I started to put a lighter color to show where the light would come. At least this is more the localization of the shadows. Some of them are shadows made by the own fabric on top of each other or where the creases are. So this is a bit more, for me, I was just checking where things would be. So it seems a bit rough the way I do it. I just wanted to check out because this doesn't have a particular kind of a light source. It's just, I made this light source in the way this just, it's more between the creases and how the body is reacting with and the part of the shirt. There's a part that is darker underneath the character's chest because I gave him a bit of a puffy chest, and I decided that part, since it was hidden because of his body like being a bit bending, I decided to make it darker. Now I'm just making a huge blending of the shadows in here. I just like to do this because it was a lot easier for me. It already becomes easier for me to when I want to join the merging process and then merging the line art with the the rest of the painting. I'm still assigning the part of the light. So the part of the light and I do it very quickly. Of course, this was speeded up, but I try to make this part as quick as possible, and then I decide to make the light. I had a little issue here before because the thing didn't connect it to the other layer of the shadow, and it was already affecting the other layers. So I had to make another group inside another group so this would work. So yeah, my idea here was to just give the light some color because I just placed it pure white, and now I'm giving the light some color, and I'll make of course the shadows with a bit of blue just to give a bit more natural feeling. Yeah, you can see that I was having a little issue here, so I had to group it all. I was trying something, and I grouped it. Yeah, I was just kind of finding this weird, so I had to clean it up, and then now yeah, finding the solution in here, finding the problem. I had to clean this. And then what I did was exactly that, grouped it. I just grouped them and just added a bit of light. This was really like rough. I usually make this really rough, and then I added more darker colors on the places that I thought the creases should be darker, because that's when we can call that the ambient occlusion, where the sun doesn't where the sun literally doesn't go shine. So yeah, it's really an interesting process. I'm really enjoying doing these videos, and I'm really having fun. Yeah, I'm just really showing you guys a quick way of putting the shadows. I placed a bit darker of the purple, but this is like I said, this is more like the crease effect of how the areas that are not affected by the light will become darker naturally. Now here we have the final piece. I'm showing you guys the final piece and how it will actually become. So for now, this is exactly what I want to do. So guys, thank you so much for watching. The videos are a bit shorter than I expected, but I hope you guys like it. I really have fun. I'm having fun making this character. And well, stick around for more news, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Love you guys.